Okay, we're going to do the Happy Meal toy design brief. We're going to take this and we're going to make a brochure for this toy that we've designed. And so this is the toy that I've designed. It's a candy ring, and I'll show you. I've got it. I've got a 3D printed version of it. So it's just, you know, some simple design, real fast, real easy. You guys are going to need to make something a little bit more complicated than that, but I was just trying to get something done quickly so that I could describe to you what I want you to have for your. What's most important is the setup, the format of your brochure. So let's go and talk about how we get this done. So it's a lot like your what was it, Adobe Spark business cards, but it's a different part of that website. So if you'll go back to Google and type in my website, your website is going to be bit.ly/hsking, which you're already there. You've already clicked on it if you found this video. But I'm going to click on it, and I've got a link down here where it says brochure, and over to the left this is a black and white SP Adobe Spark. This is the business card. Don't click on this SP. Click on the one that's black and white. I'm going to click there, and I've already got the link saved, and if you'll look, it's highlighted right here, spark.adobe.com/make/flyer-maker-business. And then it goes, and you can start right here where it says create your own business flyers. So we're going to try to recreate this flyer. Here's the PDF version of it. You can see it a little clearer, but it's got 4 sections. So it's got a section here, a section here, section here, and section here. So I've got a section over here for to the left. It's got the company name. This is my design, the actual part itself, designed in Autodesk Inventor. And then this over here is kind of a description over to the right of, describing it, how much each part costs. You can look this stuff up on your own and see what you're going to need to make your part. We'll talk about that in a minute, but also you need to make sure you have warning, choke hazard, approved for ages 3 and up. And then on the left-hand side, I've got my name, my title, all that stuff. We'll get into that. The name of the candy ring. This is a candy ring. That's what this is. Okay. I know it's made out of plastic, but that's the prototype. So I'm constructing and testing my prototype. This is the technical drawing that I threw in there of that part. So let's pause. All right. So now let's go back, and we've already clicked on the black and white SP here, and it brought me to this website where it says Adobe Spark. You've already signed up with your email, so now we're going to log in with Adobe ID. Now this is the part where I'm going to log in as me, and you're going to log in as you. So let's type in, like if I were to log in as you, I would say like our school does, Nathan. Of course, this is not my email. This is just to show you, Nathan.King. And then what was my last 4 digits of my lunch number? I'm just making this up. You should know your lunch number. So at starkvillesd.com, and then you type in your password. It's going to be capital S, lowercase d, and then your lunch number, whatever that is. And so that if you logged in last time, if you didn't log in, make sure you go get an Adobe ID right here. But if you did log in, make sure you put in your first name, last name, and the last 4 digits of your lunch number at starkvillesd.com, and then capital S, lowercase d, and then your lunch number without the zeros, and then click OK. So I'm going to, all right, and then so we start off like this, and it looks like this. We need to change the format of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it in just a minute, but I want to make sure I save this as brochure King, or put your last name or something just to specify that this is you doing a brochure. All right, now I'm going to move around, and by the way, this video is going to pause and all kinds of stuff over the next couple of minutes, so get ready. It's coming. So I want you to scroll down on this side over here till you find this little area like this where it's got 2 big squares and 2 rectangles. So find that layout. That's how I want this to look. All right, I'm going to put my company name right here in this bottom left-hand corner. I'm going to click Add Text, and I'm going to type in my company name, which I decided to do Bring It, and then Industries. You make your own company name. Don't be like me. You don't have to, life is boring if you try to be like everybody else, or everybody tries to be the same. So don't be boring. So now go over here to style. If you don't like the way that looks, you can click on style and just start swinging that dot around until you find something that looks kind of like what you want. I kind of like that. We can go with that. Bring it down, no pun intended. And let's go to the next part. Alright, so now I'm going to go over here to this section. If you'll look, I've got in the top left hand corner my name and my information. I'm going to go ahead and put that there too. So I'm going to put that here in the top left hand side, text. I'm going to type in my name. And then space down, and I'm going to put I'm the Chief Executive Officer, CEO. And then my address, my phone number is what I'm going to put on here. So just make up some crazy phone number. But 662 is what I'm going to put since that's a Mississippi thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so something like that. Put in your email. All students should know my email now. It's nking@starkvillesd.com. And then click done. And so there's my, if you'll notice this is the same format, but that's kind of boring. So let's change that format. Let's go over to style. Now we'll do say something here quickly. When you do a brochure, you really don't need to have more than like three, I would say 3 different kinds of fonts, so it's not too chaotic. But hey, we're just trying to get this completely done. You can go through and make it beautiful however you want. I'm just giving you a kind of a rule of thumb that you don't need. You see how there's different types of curvy fonts, big thick fonts, crazy looking fonts here. You really don't need more than 3. But hey, now this part's going to go really fast, so just kind of hang on to your horses. I'm just going to go in and start a new file and make my little shape. You know how easy this is. I mean, according to the category over here, you're supposed to have 5 parts according to the Happy Meal toy. Mine only has 1 real part, but I want y'all to make yours a little more complicated than mine. Maybe have parts that connect with each other. And I'm not even going to really sit here and talk about how I'm drawing this. I'm just trying to make something that's usable. So I want to make that 0.5 just to, and I don't, like I said, I don't want y'all being the same as me. So don't go making this candy ring like that. I want you to use your brain, okay? And so now we've got basic setup of 2 circles. I'm going to finish my sketch, and it's just, I know this part is a yawn, but hey, I want you to understand, you see how that's 1 inch? You're not supposed to be, according to this, more than 3 by 5. I'm going to make, I don't like the way that ring looks. And I'm just doing this fast, but you know you could scale it up when you do your 3D print, but I'm just going to go ahead and make a candy ring that looks kind of like that. So there's my design. So this would fit on a child's finger, you know, somebody who's 3 years old to 7 years old. So I'm going to change my settings up here. I'm going to make it yellow. Okay, make it yellow like that. And I'm going to kind of position it to where you can see on this, like, you know, if I were to put this on my design, let me show you what I'm doing here. So if you look at my PDF here of my part, I positioned it to where you can see it a little clearer. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm going to, alright, so go click print screen on your keyboard right here. Just push the print screen button. And what you don't have the same output that I've got here, but I'm going to push escape. Well, you've got print screen, right? Just go ahead and make sure you have that. You don't have the same software I do here, but you know, you'll basically essentially have the same thing I've got at the end. So go down here to Windows and type in click the Windows key like this, make that pop up, and then type in PAINT, and you should see Paint. Now, paste the image of what you had. I know I've got an issue there, but you know, we're just going to do this for all intents and purposes really quickly because I ain't got but 15 minutes to do a video. So I'm going to click outside the image, and if you look down here at the very bottom, there's a little white dot. Click that and drag up, and I'm going to select the part of the image that I want. And so I'm going to Control A, select all, so you can select all by doing this, and then copy, click copy. And then you can go over into Adobe thing like you were talking about, the Adobe website on Google that we were at. So go back to where we were. Click in here, and well, first off, before you do that, make sure you save the file. Save the file somewhere. So let's save this file as, you know, candy ring or something, whatever your thing is. So it's a PNG file, so I'm saving it under my downloads folder. So let's do that quickly. And then I'm going to go over back to Adobe. And right here, if you'll notice at the top it says replace. I clicked on the section that I want, so I click replace, and I'm going to upload a photo. And I'm going to upload that photo that I had in downloads just a second ago called Candy Ring. Alright, and so I'm going to go back and do that one more time. Just click here, click replace on that image, and upload a photo. And I need to find out where it was under downloads, and Candy Ring is what it was called. Okay, so it's a PNG image. It's probably saved as something different for you, but there's my image. I'm getting closer. So if you look at the final product right here, you're getting closer. So now we're just going to start putting in the rest of it. The hardest part is over. So now we need to do the easier part, which is the technical drawing. Alright, I want you to put in this little section right here a drawing file. I'm going to show you how to go do that real quick. Okay, you can close out Inventor and reopen it if you want and get back to this point where you see File, New, and then off to the side, click that little arrow and go to Drawing. Open it up. Okay, you should see a screen that looks like this with some paper that you can put your drawing on. So I'm going to put my base model here. We're going to put that candy ring on. Okay, we're going to select our base view, and so if you'll go up here to File and click this little folder here, go find your Inventor file, the .ipt file, open it, and you know, just go with the default here because we're just looking for we're making our brochure. Make sure that you're selecting right here where it says hidden line. There's a over to the left. Click that. Make sure that's blue. Click OK. If you'll notice, you'll see this is the top view. What's supposed to be the top view, and we're going to project off of this that's what I would consider the front view, and this is what I would consider the right side view. But and if you'll go over to the left and highlight up, you'll notice that it kind of tilts like that. That's called an isometric view. So I'm going to click there, and I'll notice that there's blocks here. So what I do is I right click on my mouse and I click create, and what it does is it places those parts there in the right place. And so I'm going to go over to my annotate tab here as the second tab over to the left, click dimension. We're going to dimension the inner circle here, the radius of the inner circle. Make sure you don't click on the actual center of the circle so it clicks into place. Click the outside dimension of the circle, so these are our leader lines with dimensions there. Click the left hand side of that view here, and click the the bottom of this line here. So that what we're doing is we're getting a height, a width, and if there's any circles in your drawing or any shape, we make sure the leader lines are visible. Alright, so now what we've got is a drawing file here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of cheat at this point, and I'm going to print screen. So I'm going to click the print screen again. So you remember how we did that a minute ago. I'm going to click you're already print screen setup. So let's go. Mine is set up a little differently, so I'm going to click paint again. I'm going to control all and delete, paste that in. So what it does is it pastes that picture in of what I've got, and now I'm going to save it as candy ring drawing, like that, and it's a PNG file as well. Save it in the same place. Go back to the Google Chrome, and in this little section I'm going to replace this with an uploaded photo of what I just did. And so I have a candy ring drawing PNG file here, so I click open, and you'll notice it puts it right in place, and you can kind of maneuver it, manipulate it around. And so we'll start at this point. Everything's set up the way you need it to be set up. You just need to move things out of the way, and I'm going. All right, the last thing to do is just play around with it. Make sure you put the warning on there.